Welcome to In the Gap. I'm Catherine with the Estate Law Center, and the following is a collection of law articles using personal stories to explain the meaning and importance of estate planning. This is meant to be educational and does not establish an attorney-client relationship. Enjoy the following story. The key to specific bequests. Picture a major metropolitan city with bright lights and people busily going about their lives. There are the smells of pizza. You know the kind where one slice barely fits on the paper plate, and if you don't fold that plate just right, the cheese begins to slide. There are the sounds of taxi horns and people yelling greetings. There is a hum that never stops. Without identifying the location so as to provide some anonymity, a recent speaking engagement prompted a story that encompassed such a setting within a bustling city, where people live in close quarters and there's a beauty that rises from the lives that become intertwined. One could say it was one of those aha moments when something in the course material comes alive for an attendee. During the seminar, I had just transitioned from giving an overview of estate planning documents to examining the structure of a last will and testament when a gentleman eagerly raised his hand. As soon as he began to speak, his accent captivated the 20 or so in attendance. The gentleman said that as I was talking about specific bequests of tangible personal property, meaning the items that we can touch and which we may convey or bequeath to a particular person or entity, the discussion reminded him of a story in which he played a fairly major role. The story involved this gentleman who lived in a building nestled within the city and who had the privilege of witnessing the friendship that grew between neighbors in adjoining apartments, an older adult lady and a woman not yet entering such a season. One can imagine that the building may have been a high-rise with many rent-controlled apartments, where perhaps the landlord remained a little scarce and the neighbors were not just dependent upon one another, but truly enjoyed each other's company. As the story goes, the two ladies became very good friends. Picture the shared cups of coffee, the quiet moments perhaps no longer so remote. Especially important when there were adult children who never came to visit the older adult lady, not a note nor a call. Whether 2, 3, or more, the number is not important here. The poignancy is in the life lived without those to whom one gave life. Time passed, and the older adult lady became ill, and eventually she had no fight left. Her departure was a graceful one. Unbeknownst to those who were her friends, the older adult lady had prepared to pass on her meager belongings with dignity. This lovely lady, who towards the end of her life built memories on her own without the help of her children, made a specific bequest in her last will and testament, leaving a piece of furniture and the contents therein to the woman next door who had become her friend. Perhaps that piece of furniture was all she had to leave. Those elements of the story we do not know. What can be shared is that there was no devise or bequest to any of the children, and when the nondescript piece of furniture was delivered to the neighbor, inside a drawer was a key with a note attached. The note instructed that the beneficiary gave the key to the very gentleman who was in the audience of my seminar, stating, "He'll know what to do with it." Looking over the worn piece of furniture gave no indication of the magic within. As this gentleman got down on his knees, peered underneath, shined his small flashlight from corner to corner, there it was, a secret compartment, and the key was a perfect fit. A thank you contained therein for a friendship when one may have been most needed, a compartment filled with gems that glittered, worth millions, one said. True friendship is priceless. This story is about principle. A simple bequest made in a last will and testament may speak volumes where no voice previously stood. Plan ahead. Protect what is yours. Give thanks as appropriate. Write a beautiful verse. It is my hope that this story resonates with you. The Estate Law Center serves clients throughout the Commonwealth of Virginia in the practice areas that touch most of our lives: estate planning, elder law, and business law. The motto of the Estate Law Center is protecting the stewardship of your God-given assets. Enjoy additional articles read from In the Gap, and for more information, please visit estatelawcenter.com. I leave you with this, and the following comes from my heart. We must protect those who are not able to speak for themselves. We must protect our neighbor who has been wronged by another. We must reach out to the elderly who may be overwhelmed by a vast system of laws. We must act boldly when others may be caused to be weak and use the protective arm of the law to guard against the trampling of individual liberties. Thank you for joining this segment of In the Gap.